What we do know is that when it came to the border, you approved it, you stamped it, and you went right along with it as a policy of your presidency in 2020, preaching a campaign of open border policy, switching in line, saying consistently, even switching the rhetoric and the talk from migrants to asylum seekers, and all types of trickery. We also caught you during 2020 election and coming up of supporting Black Lives Matter and many other dudes that were in the crowd out there hurting people, bashing up the town, and carrying on. And you had a GoFundMe page, a Twitter account where you was talking about um, bailing out the criminals as they were doing the dirt across the run. So we still see your affiliation in straight garbage all the way around the world. There is no way in the world that you are fit at this time, to me, to run as any president of this country. And just the same thing, if you make that mistake and vote her in, just like you was going to voting Joe Biden, just like they call themselves voting for Joe Biden in 2020, you know what I'm saying, voting this idiot, you know what I'm saying, and you vote her in, you're going to end up with the same policies, same rhetoric, and especially the Article 2.13 might come effective in the game. So we have to be careful who we vote for in this election. This has nothing to do with Kamala Harris being who she is, a black woman, if she calls herself or whatever, or a woman in general. You know what I'm saying? Whatever they say she is, per se. This has nothing to do with that. This has to do with a strong back and a strong president that can bring this country to the point of bringing the policies, the necessary moves to bring back our respect in this world anywhere, even though we have that, but at the same time cleaning up a lot of the garbage within the government itself. Once we do that also, we need to be cleaning up our foreign affairs and many foreign things. Many things we see going on are policies of foreign governments and leaders who are corrupt. We heard many people use the phrase um, sanctuary cities, so on and so on and so on, for the migrants and all these different people. But I got news for you. The problem with that is the United States, though, which we call the United States, North America, whatever, I'm saying, always was a sanctuary city. Not always in a sense based on the wars, the slavery, and all types of bullshit that was going on in this country against the original man, the black woman, and the black man of this land, and the land thereof, where we have always been. You know what I'm saying? But the jealousy of these people seeks to destroy all of that. But at the same time, when we look at the global aspect of it and the whole thing, you know what I'm saying, the whole world in itself, you know what I mean, is one big place for us to protect. You know what I'm saying? We cannot lose our position as far as saying that when it comes to the world and our global aspect of foreign policy outside of the United States also needs to clean up its act because it has been involved in many corrupted things, even going back to all of the United States involvement in world wars. You know what I'm saying? And we know many people from in our side had a lot to do with these corrupted things because these people love to see blood and guts and killing and murdering. They must get a stiffy by doing it, such as we saw with Mao Zedong against the Falun Gong people, where you put the guards around, put cameras up, and starved the whole village of people literally to that. Oh yeah, he even probably watches one of his people that was working with him even call him a traitor and turn around and watch on camera as they slowly made him suffer to death. And then he had no uh, fight against it because once a person is in power or being elected into power, or, and starts to twist his power into a dictatorship, you know what I'm saying? There's not much, or saying however he acquired that power in many of these countries, and he's in that position, and turn on the people, what I'm saying? It's easy for him to arrest you or to have orders sent out to arrest you, and then guess what's going to happen? They're coming in full force because now he has been elected or been put into a position where now he's literally a dictator and have power over all the power of the country, the military might of the men serving in the police and all types of different forces of government to come down on you while he sits and just watch. He doesn't come do it himself. You know what I'm saying? So this is a bad position for many presidents in the United States that we have seen over the years. They have been allowed to come into government, now to be elected or call themselves elected, however our electoral process goes, get in position, and now he's become a dictator. And he's doing things and making policies and then sending these executive orders and many orders out and bills and all types of shit he's creating up there. And then when we look, it comes out on the people. He can even set up something for the next 40 years that'll enslave the population at that time that he's setting up right now. This is how these people work. So when we look at even the global aspect of us cleaning up our country, putting somebody like Kamala Harris in position right now would be the worst thing that you could do. You know what I'm saying? Because the demon Democrats need to be taught a lesson in all ways that they have to clean up their act and clean up our country from all the rule that you've been ruling for over all these years and the garbage that we have seen you produce. And that goes for the Republican Party as well. You know what I mean? You have to clean up your act. You have to show the people that you say what you mean and mean what you say in more ways than one. So now we're even looking here on catching up on some late news. We see View Elisa Farah Griffin say ex-boss Trump is infinitely beatable. Infinitely beatable. But Creep Joe Biden is one person incapable of beating Trump. I got to do this for you. This is Elisa Farah. Trump is not beatable at this moment. What is beatable is that your sick mind, in which would make you say something like that, tells me who you are working for and who you are affiliated with anyway. You know what I'm saying? But if the people are stupid enough to choose any other candidate right now other than Donald J. Trump, you're going to pay a price for it. You're going to pay a price. There's few other candidates that are out there that should be running for presidency, you know what I'm saying, that we must look at also. Like Robert F. Kennedy is one of them. And, many others that may be on the good ticket. But when it comes to the Demon Democratic Party, we have to put them in check and give them a rest. Because we've seen the chaos in which they have produced through their whole candidacy of the 2020 to now. And that shit is some corruptive, twisted bullshit that I've ever seen coming out of a presidency itself. And there's been many others, you know what I'm saying, going back. Trust me, they have. You know what I mean? But when we look at even this, we see one of the worst presidents we've ever seen. So when it comes to beating Trump, when Trump only had 4 years, So they didn't do all that bullshit they do up on stage talking about, come on, man, come on, people, line up and get this. You know what I'm saying? And all that kind of shit. This man was on stage preaching that in the White House on TV, giving some kind of speech. Like, come on, people, man, come on. This is preaching about it and telling people to hurry up and get down and all that bullshit. You know what I'm saying? And now you can't tell me one good, come on, like I said, you know what I'm saying? He just want to make sure that he get all the people, you know what I'm saying? They must have gave him the approval that he want to get all the people getting revenge on the United States people who probably ain't many of them are not around today, you know what I'm saying? Will get revenge on the American people because of, you know what I'm saying, your crazy ball it is. You know what I'm saying? And what happened to you throughout your career? Everybody knew you was a fucking bum then, just like they knew you was fucking bum now. So let's see what that about. Well, we see she went on to see, you know what I'm saying, Farrah gave a brutal review. You know what I'm saying? Lisa Farrell, whatever her name is, giving a review of the President Donald J. Trump Republican National Convention speech, you know what I'm saying, in more way declaring her ex-boss is infinitively beatable. I don't see nothing wrong with his speech, and we ain't got time to sit here debating what his speech was and you breaking it apart, trying to suck ass in order to get a nut. So we're not going to go down the road with that stupid shit because that alone is just the nominational speech. It is not showing its, you know, its action. His nominational speech is based on creating the truth in what he's saying he's going to do, but he still has to do it and for the world to see it and also see it in its fullness, that it becomes a reality that the people can feel. To see even in foreign policy the same thing. You can't just talk about foreign policy and see what you're going to do. We have to see it in all action because action speaks louder than the words. So for us to just dwell on the words and not put forward the action, how is it you're going to see that action if the action that you're looking for is in the wrong, if you're looking in the wrong place for the action that is not going to be um, put forward in its reality to see? It is definitely not going to if you don't put forward an effort to make sure that you have the right strong person in there that has a worldwide business mind view to be able to wheel and deal. Remember, many of these nations and many of these people is not going to do anything that's supposed to be talked about or asking them to do on a friendship level without asking for some kind of support, money, or whatever else it takes in order for it to move. So you've got to know business. So many people speaking about how it's Russia collusion when, it's you have to be able to do that to shake and bake in order to get things, going on as a businessman. So that means you're gonna have to travel, you're gonna have to go meet with these people and all types of things like that in order to get things popping. At the same time, on the other hand, we have creeped Joe Biden 230 million Gaza prior quietly shut down U.S. Senator labels Project National Embarrassment. This is why Net Jackass Young called himself taking a trip coming over here. I guess he want to save his ass and his career and everything else. And he probably want to save because he really don't give a fuck about those people. He really care only about himself. You know what I mean? We could clearly see that. But at the same time, as a Zionist, butthead Barrymore looking, slackback head looking ass, you know what I'm saying? He don't give a fuck. So, I guess whatever, 230 million they're giving these people. Listen to the numbers, excuse me. Listen to the numbers of money that they shell out to these people. We never hear a low money. You know what I'm saying? And then when we talk about giving out 250 $1 million to however going into American this American that. We don't even get really see that either. You know what I'm saying? How many American people see, you know, $230 million or Build Back Better plan budget money of 1.9 trillion. You know what I'm saying? Another 8.9 billion, another 5.6 trillion going to the left, going to the right, and going everywhere else, but not into America and into bringing up the economical strength of the people in more ways than one. You don't even get a tax break, you get a tax hike because they're spending millions and millions and more of your money. So they have to keep on leaving the deficit on it, so they have to keep the taxes going up in order for the money to keep on floating, whatever rotation they may have. You know what I'm saying? But we see they're saying is whatever was going on with that money was an embarrassment. We see the military has stated in more ways than one, shutting down a operations of a hugely expensive and troublesome pry into the Gaza Strip. You know what I'm saying? Citing difficulty with distribution as a key factor in the decision. We see the chapter might be over in Keep Joe Biden Crazy Ass Broke Back Bitch Biden's mind, but the national embarrassment that this project has caused is not. The only miracle the is that this doomed that is saying that this the only miracle is that this doomed from start operation did not cost any American lives, Senator Roger Wicker said in the statement issued yesterday after the project closure. I have been calling for an the end to this election year gimmicks since it is prime since its prime time in conception at the State of the Union. While I am glad it has finally concluded, we cannot buy back 230 million needlessly spent, and significant questions remain about Joe Biden's administration poor planning of the mission, Whitaker said. You know what I'm saying? The mission in itself was not to even happen at all. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? When we look at it, if you take a look at the destruction that they have caused on the Gazan people in many of this, you realize that, you know what I'm saying, they have no right to do what they're doing. There is no way that Jackass Yah was an invading group of Zionist people putting their stupid asses in Egypt talking about this and that. And then the first thing Joe Biden in he does, he runs to support them under his decision, and everybody else goes right along with it. So rather going right along with it and sending aircraft carriers that's carrying F-14s and many high-tech jets and different shit over there, plus it also has military guns and power on it that can launch, you know what I'm saying, rockets and all types of shit and yada yada yada. And you send such a powerful force of the United States over to help Netanyahu, plus supports his military with billions of dollars, and even have Netanyahu bought Netanyahu invading ass and the rest of his conglomerate, you know what I'm saying, the common settlers out there working right along with them, you know what I'm saying, killing and murdering and destroying the city of Palestine and so on, bombing it to rubble and all of this and the third. You know what I'm saying? The destruction and the killing part of these people are not based on anything to do with what you think you're reading in their bullshit, holy sweet King James Caesar Borgia, you know what I'm saying, probably was the lover. But you know what I'm saying, we see sweet King James, you know what I'm saying, you know, all three of them. You could say Pope Alexander VI's son, Caesar Borgia, Leonardo da Vinci, and Leonardo da Vinci, Caesar Borgia, and there's another one. It doesn't slip my mind just that quick. But, you know what I mean? In more ways than one, these guys are no more than criminals of their time as well. You know what I'm saying? In King James. You know what I'm saying? All were, to me, in cahoots together in the corruption that went on based on that book. You know what I'm saying? In more ways than one. And even probably Shakespeare. You know what I'm saying? But that book has no validity in what Netanyahu have done. Because any affiliation that he has claiming his right to that, to creation or anything to do with whatever God they're talking about, which their mind, you know what I'm saying, has no right, no validity, no paper, no nothing other than an invasion, a murdering and killing, same as all other nations we saw in Africa that were not indigenous to Africa at all. No more. Just like then, just like now. Invaders, slave drivers, and murderers. We see here where the earth, uh, the earth is wobbling, and days are getting longer, and humans are to blame. Yeah, humans are to blame. Okay, because when we look at it, the earth go through many changes in many ways. It's the same thing if you have this is the earth here and it's spinning, or however it's going around its axis, whatever. And sometimes anything that is not controlled or can be controlled by your hand or man itself will sometimes shift its direction in own ways. So when it was like this, you know what I'm saying, it could shift a degree that you can't see. A simple little degree that you literally can't see. And then when that happens, many changes on planet Earth will come. You know what I'm saying? So to me, climate control and all that garbage that you're talking about really doesn't hold no water with me. You know what I'm saying? It seems like something that you are doing, but you call yourself blaming the regular people for that. So it seems like some kind of back walls, bullshit ass straight, crooked shit that you were doing. And probably pumping millions of dollars into that as well on some crooked shit that y'all are doing and calling it climate control. To me, it's more like, yeah, you're right, climate control. But we see Kenyan police patrol Haiti, Haiti capital after more forces arrive. This is coming in by, I think, like Clarence. You know what I'm saying? Two days ago, but it could be later. Yeah, it was like about 2 days ago. I can see when I caught on to this. But the Kenyan police patrols the Port-au-Prince in armed vehicles. This Wednesday on armed vehicles on Wednesday. A local official said. You know what I'm saying? We see Haiti Prime Minister Gary Connell or something like that announced a new emergency measure to combat the country's growing gangs. Well, you the one who fueled it. You the one who let, and many of y'all let the United States and many other governments and different people coming there and corrupting that country of that side of that land for how long now? Because the Africans and they rebel against your bullshit many years ago and brought it to your ass and told you they won't have it. That slavery bullshit. You continue. down the same road. The vehicles patrolled the area around the National Palace in other parts of Port-au-Prince with Kenyan forces and Haitian police on board, on board, according to the officials who spoke on conditions of anonymity and did not provide details about their uh, objective in more ways than one.